Hi guys. Hey, hi Atul. Can we start now? Like, are we waiting for Namrata?
Hello.
Yes. So,
Yeah, Amrut. Yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait for Namrata for 2 more minutes. Right?
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's start then. Guys, so we would be having flows and meet Atul and Namrata, who would be explaining, training us on flows. So, Atul, go ahead, just have an introduction of yourself and Namrata, and then we'll start.
Namrata, can you start now?
Yes, uh, just share my screen. Atul, is it visible?
Yes, it is. It is.
So, hi everyone. I'm Namrata Verma, and today we are going to present lightning flows to you, the whole and soul of flow, and we'll be going through this session and we'll be able to learn how and why do we use flow and what are the agendas and how we can actually construct a flow, distribute the flow, and launch it. So let's start. So basically, the agenda of this section would be why do we need to flows? And flow has been in Salesforce for years, but it's the least utilized and most powerful declarative tool in Salesforce. And that's because it lives in the gray area between the comfort zone of system admins and coders. So the agenda will be, major topics will include the understanding use cases of flow when workflow and process builder can't do what we need and we don't want to use coding. We'll learn how to construct the flows and we'll learn options to distribute the flows in your org and then we'll talk about troubleshooting the flows. Then we'll have a small demo on how we can construct the flow and through various options we have in Salesforce. Now let's talk about some of the automation tools apart from the flows that are workflow and process builder and approval processes. So we'll look on the good and the bad part of workflow and how we will be leading to flows. So since workflow is the basic automation tool we have in Salesforce, so let's start reviewing the declarative automation tools like that. And first thing, it's easy to use. Workflow is very easy to use. It's a simple tool and it's very intuitive. It's mature technology actually. Workflow, you'll find workflow never breaks with any new releases or something. And if approval processes are a first cousin, it's the same code base it uses what it is for workflow. And workflows can automate many business processes and can access more standard and custom objects in Salesforce. Now, what is bad about workflow is workflow can do just four things. It can create a task, send an email, update a record, or send an outbound message to another software application. It cannot create or delete records. And workflow can be invoked when a record changes. The save button must be engaged either or a created or edited of records and you have no control over execution order of workflow and it only supports one if then statement, and the limited span only access some fields on a related master object. Then we have process builder. Now, the good part on process builder is process builder supports far more actions than workflow, such as creating chatter posts, updating child records, and creating records. It also supports versioning, which is very handy when you want to save your work and continue. But then decide to fall back to an earlier version, earlier execution with a nice you can create only 50 versions of processes. You can control the order of execution, and it supports multiple if-then statements. It is invoked by record change, another process or a platform event, and you can update any related object in process builder. Now, what falls bad in process builder is if you create a new record, you cannot access to the newly created ID of your record, and it doesn't support a user interaction. It runs on the background, and it cannot delete records, and the schedule actions cannot be tracked back to the record.
हेलो मेरे को नॉर्मल वाला लिंक भेजो ना Zoom का जिसमें लोग कनेक्ट कर
So here are some of the flow terms that we'll be seeing further, and those are Lightning Flow, which includes the tools for building and managing and running flows and processes. And Process Builder and Flow share same code base. So basically, Lightning Flow encapsulates the Flow Builder and Flow. Flow Builder is the point-and-click tool used for building the flows. And Flow is the whole application that automates the business processes by collecting the tools and everything that we have created in the flow. Now we have types of flows in Salesforce, but the main types of flows that we'll be seeing today will be the screen flow and the auto launched. Screen flow, basically you get user interactions, and those are launched by buttons or clicks and links. And the auto launch process flow would be launched by the process builders. It will run in the background. Atul, do you want to add something on this?
Okay, I'll take it from here. Okay. Right, I'll share my screen. Okay, so what other than process builder are you guys able to hear me? And hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So apart from what process builder can do, flows can delete record. There's far more user interaction. We can access multiple records. We can query things. We can update things. We can insert things. Okay. So this is one of the things that Flow can do. That's the out-of-box functionality that Flow can do. Okay. So these are the main things what we have seen, like deleting record, user interaction, fast access to multiple record, multiple object access. Okay, so this is what other than what out of the box Flow can do. These are the things. So these are the something which will when you start creating a flow that will see in later process later in this whole webinar. So these are the things that you will come across frequently while creating a flow. So these are the variables. You can define variables like to get input and to save output, or to save queried data into. Okay, you can create collections. So they are using variables. You can select. You can set everything in the variables from what you need in flows. Okay, you can create formulas. Okay, so these are the elements that you will see that they create a record. So by using this, you can just create a record and you can map the fields over and just create record whatever you want to create. Like for example, you can create account and leads, contact, anything. You just have to map everything, the required field, and just you have to create it. It will be done. Okay, so delete record. If you want to delete something, if there's a mm, block that will delete the records. Okay, so screens, what is screen? You won't see screens in auto launch flow. So auto launch flow doesn't have screens, only screen flow have screens. Okay, so this is the only type of screen flow is the only type of flow that will consist of this thing, this element called screen. No other than screen flow, no other flow contains screen. Okay, and then connect element in logical sequence. Okay, so you need to connect the whole thing, that the blocks, create block, delete block, then you query something, you delete something, you went for a loop, then you assign a variable. So these all things you have to connect one by one. So you can connect in a logical sequence whatever you want. Okay, then you can always add a flow as a fault screen. Okay, so while creating a record, let's suppose you went into an error. So you can whatever error is there, you can always show in a screen if it is a screen flow, of course. Okay, and if you want to and if a auto launch flow and you want to create an error log. Okay, so you can always do that using this. So what this will do is, if we encounter a error while creating a record, then you can create a error log for that. Okay, so this was the error, this field was missing or something like that. Okay, so okay, so
Yeah,
these are the
can you
places.
just click on present? Hello.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, you can just click on present. So the screen will be enlarged.
Okay. Okay, so these are the parameters from where you can use your flows. Okay, so custom button. Okay, so when you click onto a flow, you'll go into the details, flow builder. So flow builder, you can see the URL. That URL you can use in your custom button, same as we use for Visualforce pages. Okay, when we create a URL button, so same way we can create a URL button with the URL of the flow that will get on the flow builder, that will see in this meeting only. Links from the different links. Let's suppose you are having a link and you want to click, when you click onto that link, you want to fire a flow. So obviously you can use that in a link where you can fire a flow, auto launch flow. So these things. Okay, so process builder, from process builder you can fire auto launch flow. That's it, nothing else. Screen flow you can't fire from process builder. Okay, and lightning components, from lightning components you can fire screen flow. So that will consist of screens, and you can just click on to next and this. Okay, so what are setting variables? Okay, so setting a variable, let's suppose we create a variable, a text variable, and we want to store a ID in it. So we'll create a text variable, and we'll make that available for input. By making it available for input, we can set that ID from any other custom process, that is our process builder. We can go with process builder, we can go with a link. If we want to create a link, we want to create a button, so we can always set that parameter from other than outside from the flow. Okay, available for output. Or let's suppose we want to create a another flow, we want a subflow. Okay, so from this flow we want to call a subflow. So if we want to send a variable, if we want to send a value to the flow, we need to make that variable available for output. Okay, that will demo you. Okay, so if we can always set both input and output for a same variable. Okay, and if we didn't select any of the checkboxes, so that flow will be used in that variable. Sorry, that variable will always be in the flow itself. We can't use it outside the flow. Okay, so we'll just give you a demo. I'll just show you a flow that we have created, a auto launch flow. Okay, so first we will go to an auto launch flow. I'll show you auto launch flow. Okay, so in the quick find box you can type flow. You will see flows right here. Okay, so let's start with creating a new flow. So we'll create a new flow over here. So these are the types of flows. Okay, so there are mainly 5 types. Okay, as we can see over here. So screen flow is a flow that will consist of screens that provide us a user interaction. If we want to select something, select anything basically, so we can add it to a screen, and if we want a user interaction, then we can use this flow. Okay, record triggered flow is same as a trigger. We can have before update, before insert, okay, before and after, and update, insert, and these things we have. So this is a record triggered flow. We just need to mm, select which record we want to trigger that flow, and in which event, like update, create, or both the events. Okay, on both events, if we want to trigger a flow, then we can use this one. Okay, schedule trigger flows are nothing but you can schedule those flows. If you create a flow, then it will give you a screen there where you can select the time and date and select the frequency, in how much interval you want to run this flow. Let's suppose daily, weekly, okay, like that. So platform event triggered flows are the flows that will be invoked when on a particular when a particular platform event get triggered. Okay, so you have to select, when you select this type of flow, then you have to select, firstly a screen will pop up and you have to select the platform event that you want that flow to be triggered on. And there is this auto launch flow. So auto launch flows are the flows that you have to trigger from an Apex process builder and anywhere else from where you can trigger them. So this won't be invoked automatically. You have to invoke it from somewhere like process builder. Okay, so I'll give you an example of auto launch flow. So we'll create auto launch flow. This is our start. Okay, now what I want, I'll create a new resource. Okay, firstly I go to manager, then click a new resource. I'll select a variable. Okay, record ID. Record ID. Okay, then I'll make it a text. So these are the availability for you, like available for input and available for output. If you select it for input, you can set this variable from outside of this flow. Okay, so right now I'm making this available for input. Let's suppose I want to run this flow from a process builder, so I need to set this value from the process builder. So I'll make it available for input. Okay, done. Yeah, I have created this variable. Now I'll again go on to this elements. Okay, so now what I want is I want to query that record. Okay, so I'll just drag this and I'll just drop it over here. So get leads, get lead. Okay, lead, and my object would be lead. Okay, we have to select the object. Okay, for which object we are having this get record. So you can select any record you want. So right now I'm going for lead. So lead. Okay, so this is a filter criteria. Condition are met, so I'll go with lead ID. Lead ID equal, and that records ID that we are setting from our process builder. So that variable. So when you are searching for this, if you don't have that variable, no worries, you can directly create it from here. So like this, new resource variable, then you create your record ID, select data type, and make it available for input or output. Okay, so on a runtime as well, you can directly create that. And I'll go on to this. I'll search that record ID that I've created. Okay. Okay. So you can always sort it ascending or descending, the record that will come up. So right now what we are having is we are only having one record as we are setting this record ID. So how many records you want to store? So I just want first record. So I can select this. If it's a collection, I need to select this one, all record, that will meet that criteria. Okay. So automatically store this field, choose a field. If you want to set individual value to an individual variable, you can always do that. So you need to do this, and you have to set the variable, set the IDs. Okay. And this choose field and assign variable. And if you click onto this, you need to select a variable and set the value. So in separate variable like this, in separate variable, then you have to create separate variable for each field. If I want to set it together in a variable, so I can create a variable like, as I showed you, new resource, type variable. Yep. A variable, and let's suppose obj lead. I name is that obj lead, and I need a record. Okay, record variable. So record variable, and for what object I need. So for lead, I need to select an object. If I select data type as record lead, okay, done. Okay, whatever field you want, you can just add fields on. So suppose I want email address from lead. I want created date. Like this, I can store n number of fields in this. It's just like a query, like we are adding a query in Apex class. So what we are doing is we are adding a query, and we are querying those variables into record. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll show you. This is the overview. Okay. So these are the decision logic. That decision logic you can add into your this thing. Check for the status. Whatever name you want to give, API name will automatically pop up. So you can set the outcome. So if no contact with lead owner, condition are met, so I'll go on with lead dot status and then equals the value. So open, not contacted. Okay. So I can add it like this. If you want to add more outcome, let's suppose I want to add more outcomes. So I can always go with more outcomes in this. So working, contacted, close, or anything, whatever I want, I can select from here. So this will become an okay. So now I need to map these with how they will run in a sequence. So like this, we are adding it as the sequence of how this whole process will run. So now if I want to send an email on once we had a contact, okay, once we had a contact, we need to send an email. So what I'll do is, so these are the elements. We have actions, okay. So these actions have actions. Will go to type, and these have email alert, okay. So I'll select email alert. Then in email alert, these are the email alert that I already created. So we'll select this, okay. We can give a label to it. We need to send the ID of that lead that we just queried. Okay, so obj lead dot ID, lead ID. Done. Okay, So now these decision have three outcomes. Okay. First outcome is if no contact with lead owner. Second is if contacted, and third one is a default one. Okay. So this one is if, and else. Okay. Let's consider right now as if this is an if statement, this is else if, and this one is else. Okay. So firstly, I want, okay, so if we don't have any contact, then we have to send this one. Okay. So as you can see, if no contact, we need to send this one. Then again, action, I'm sending a second email. Okay. Follow up. Now we only have two outcomes left. That one is, first one is if contacted, and second one is the default one. So if you want this, okay, so I've selected contacted and done. So this will our outcome. Okay. If we had a contact, then we need to send this. Okay. And then we have to save this. Okay. So we'll give this as a demo 2. And you need to activate this one. Once you activate this one, this flow would be available for you to search from process builder. Okay. Once you activate this. Now I'll show you the flow builder. So this is the flow that I have created for you guys for demo. Okay. So I'll just walk you through this. So yeah, so I'm having like, let's suppose I'm having 3 versions of this flow. So we can see those versions over here. Okay. So activated, only one can be activated, only one we can activate. So I've activated the flow version 3. So I'll open it for you guys so you can have a look. So this was my flow that I've created. So firstly, we get record of the lead. Okay. And then we have this email field, created it, and status. All right. Then we have sent a welcome email. Once a lead is getting created, we are sending a welcome email. Okay. So welcome, whatever the name is. This, what is pause event? Now pause event, if let's suppose I want to send a follow-up email, if I didn't have any contact with that lead owner in 2 days. Okay. Lead is created. Let's suppose today a lead is created, and on Tuesday I need to send a mail, a follow-up mail, that we didn't have and we didn't have any contact. Okay. So for that, we need to add a pause event. So pause event, I just drag this one off, pause. Okay. Once I drag this one, I need to give a name, then label, test. Okay. So condition, if you want to add a condition, that if a condition are met, you can always add a condition. So right now I didn't add any condition. Resume event. So this is very tricky part over here. So resume event. So base time. What is a base time? Okay. So you need to set a base time. Like I have selected lead dot created ID. Created date. So created date and offset number. Like the offset number is after how many days or after how many hours you want to send that follow-up mail. Okay. So I can set offset for 3 days, and then you have to set offset unit. Is it an hour or is it days? So let's suppose I select days. Okay. So after 3 days, once a lead is created, and after 3 days, we'll send a follow-up mail. Okay. So that I already have created for you. Okay. So you can see it over here. This one, pause and send, resume event. Okay. Created date, offset is for 3 days. Okay. And then decision. If let's suppose after 3 days, between these 3 days, if a status of a lead get changed, so we need to check that, okay, if the status is still not contacted, then we need to send a mail. Okay, if we had a contact, then if we send a mail after 3 days, then it won't be of any use. So that's why just a check. Okay, so if still we are just making sure that if still the status is not contacted, and then we are sending a follow-up mail. Okay, so for this I have created a process builder. Okay, lead, welcome aboard. So yeah, for lead, like when a lead is created, no criteria right now. I haven't put any criteria. So you have to select flow. Okay, from I'll clone this one off for you. Add action. So from here you can select flows. Okay, right here you have flows. So once you select flows, then you have to just name it the action, like send email, and the flow name will automatically populate over here. Once you have activated your flow, remember this, you have to activate your flow, only then and then your flow would be visible over here. And then you can just add your variables, record ID, and I need to set a record ID with lead ID. So this record ID that I have defined in my flow is now visible over here for input. Okay, so if I set that variable available for input, I can set it from anywhere in like Apex or flows, or sorry, process builder or subflow, from where I need to set it. Okay, so this is how I've done that. Okay, so I'll cancel this. I already have that. Okay, so this is my flow that is already in place. Okay, so I'll just try to create a new lead. And I save this. The moment I save this, I'll receive an email. Yeah, welcome aboard. So hello, whatever the name of the lead, welcome up, welcome to Tequila family. Okay, the blah blah blah. This is the thing that we have in the email template we have. Okay, so now how can we check where we have our flow is set for 3 days? So in the quick find box, you have to just type paused flow interview. So once you click onto this, you will see this one. Okay, an event that is saved to trigger. Okay, so for which flow you have set, you this have been set. Okay, auto launch flow. So this is how for 3 day later, for 3 day later, this whole thing will fire and will send another mail if status is still open, not contacted. So like this whole thing work. Okay, so this was all about auto launch flow. Now we'll quickly jump on to screen flows. Okay, so Namrata, you want to continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll be creating the screen flow. So basically, I'll ease Atul's job for creating a lead by going through forms and all. So imagine a situation where your customer wants to place an order while talking to the sales reps. So how can you do it quickly? Skipping all those lengthy tasks to create a lead from a contact, your customers details. You can just have a button on contact to create a lead. So You can go to your contact, just press that button, and your lead will be created. Only that thing your rep has to do to create a lead from a contact. So you do not have to go through the lengthy process of copying all the details from contact to create a lead. So let's start. And this is your flow screen. You can, as you can see, the created flows over here. Like Process Builder, you can have 50 versions of flows, and only one can be activated at a time. So to create a new flow, so we'll copy the contacts detail into leads. So we'll have the account name as company for lead, as it is a mandatory field, and we'll have the first name and last name details for the lead. And for the company name, I have just created a custom field in contact as account name, where it is a formula field where I'm grabbing the account name as text in the contact. So this is my custom field that I have used. So I can directly take this field into the company name of lead, just to ease the process. So I'll be creating the screen flow. So click on screen flow and create. I'll be creating all the resources that we need for this flow. So we'll be creating the variables. So click on new resource. Select variable. We'll be having the contact ID. Select text. And you can, as we discussed, when in doubt, you can select both the available for input or available for output. Create a variable for first name. Or last name. And your account. Now we have created all the variables that we want for the flow. Now we'll get the contact record that for which we'll be creating the lead. So on the canvas, you just need to drag the get records element. Label it as, say, contact. You search for the object that is contact. Now you want to filter the contact record. So you want to get that contact for which you want to create the lead. So you can get it by the variable that we have created, where contact ID. Search for ID, and you can put your flow variable. So the ID of the contact should match the variable of the flow. So you'll get the particular contact for which you need to create the lead. You need to get only the first record. And then there are three options. Say automatically store all fields, but we want to choose some of the fields. only the first name, last name, and the account name that we have created variables for. And as Atul showed you, creating the record variable in a all together in a record variable, but here we'll be creating separate variables. So I want to create variable for first name. Just type first name, you'll get the first name field of contact, and in that the first name I want to store in the variable for where first name, the last name, the account. And done. So we have created a get record element where we'll get the contact, and then we'll move forward. Now when we get a contact, I want to ask the rep if you want to proceed with this or not, to create a lead or not. So I'll create a decision element, and for decision element I want to create two resources. Say I want to give choices, yes or no. So I'll create new resource, and I'll create variables for yes or no. Choice. For yes or no, you can create, you can select a global constant that Flow provides you. So you can select true over here, and done for yes. Okay, I need to create a variable first. Okay, you can directly create a true and false for this. You don't have to go for choice resource. For choice no. Okay, now that we have created all our resources, we need to create a decision element. Say user decision. Okay. Before that, we will create the screen for it. For you can see the contact info that we have fetched. Say verify contact information. Then you need to show You want to show the first name, last name, and the account name that you have fetched for the contact over here for the user to verify it. So this you can have the first name. The account name will be used for the company name of lead. So you can give the label as company. Now you can add your yes and no choices over here, whether the user want to proceed with it or not. So you can give the choices as radio buttons. And label as, say, do you want to proceed? You can have and a choice for no. So screen is created. And then you want a decision element, whether you need to go for yes or no. Your choice, yes, option should be equal to true. This is one option, and you need to add another outcome for if selected no. Save. Now, after the user selects yes or no, you need to create a lead out of contact. So creating a record would be the element that you'll be using over here. Say create lead. You need to create one record out of the contact. Select lead. Then you want to fill first name. You can select the variable first name. The lead will be created. You need to connect all these. Now, after you connect the decision element with the create record, you'll be asked the two possibilities that we have created. So when you want to create a lead, you need to be selecting the option as if selected yes for the decision element. Now, after the lead has been created, the user need to get notified that okay, the lead has been created. So for that, we have will add another screen for the message to be displayed as thanks for creating the lead or something, and if another option to have the text as okay, declined to create the lead. You can connect this for the after creating the lead element, and another screen will be adding. Then when you drag the decision element to this screen, it will be, the next option will be shown over here and you can select this. So basically what we have done so far is we are creating a screen flow, and we'll be distributing this flow to the contact record where we'll be creating a button and we'll be launching this flow on that button. So it will fetch the record of the contact and you'll get this verify screen to verify the contact's information, and on that you'll be asked if you want to proceed with the creation of lead or not. If you are proceeding with it, the lead record will be created and you'll be getting a success screen, and if you're selecting a no for not proceeding to create a lead, then you'll be getting the sorry screen. That's what we have created so far.
Yeah, thank you guys. So we'll have some question and answers. We have 3 minutes. So guys, if you have question answer, please ask into question answers. Let me wait for one. I think everyone is clear on this thing. Everyone understood? So we don't have any question and answer. Number 10 of it. That's great.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So let's jump on to LWC. It is like starting in a minute. So thank you, Namrata. Thank you, Atul, for a nice session.
Thank you, Amrit.
Thank you.
Okay, there's something.
Okay, please show how it works. Um,
So please show how it works. Seems a bit difficult to understand.
So, okay, guys, if you want, then we can continue on this on next week also. So we'll show you how this screen flow works as well. Okay. So right now, because we are having another session that will be starting in a minute or two. So it would be great that if you guys have any doubt, we can have a doubt session on next week that will go of half an hour, and half an hour will show you how this whole thing will work. So if you have anything, then yeah, of course, next Saturday or whatever time Amru suggest.
Yeah, we'll schedule it. We'll have this session again.
Okay, so you guys be informed about the session, yeah, that we'll have.
Yeah, it was a really great session, Namrata and Atul. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.